Hello. In the last few days, I've been wondering myself, how is my loved one who I'm caring for going to get a stimulus check if they're going to get one at all? How do I make sure that that's going to happen? And so I thought I'd make this video because I did a little digging. And before I go on, I know it's common sense, but it's worth saying. This is only for people who have the authority and the legal power to control the assets or property of a loved one who has a disability or has a traumatic brain injury. If you don't have that legal authority and you start interfering with stimulus checks, then you're probably in violation of the law. So I know that seems like common sense, but it's worth saying. So here's what I found out. There's two things that you need for your loved one to make sure that they get a stimulus check or stimulus money from the US government. The first is a social security number, and the second one is a tax return that was filed most recently, like last year or the year before that. And so what I've done is I just kind of printed out a little list here on how you get a stimulus check for your loved one. First, the social security number. Second, the tax return. Now, the amount that you reported is going to tell you or tell your loved one how much they're going to get. And I went on CNN.com and found a calculator that you can punch in the numbers. And I think FoxNews.com, they don't have a calculator, but they have an article, I think, on there that explains like how much a certain person gets. And so I'm not making a political statement here. I'm just, that's what I found. The other thing I wanted to tell you was that if your loved one is going to get a stimulus money from the federal government, it'll either be through a direct deposit, and the account that was on the last tax return that was filed for your loved one is going to be where the funds will be deposited, or it'll go out by check, paper check, on the US postal mail, and that's going to be in the address of the last return. So those are the ways that you can make sure, if you have the legal authority, to make sure that your loved one who you're caring for is going to get a stimulus check. And I hope that helps. Everybody stay safe.